Before we start, big thanks to Gamdias for sending out this case and making my dream to becoming a YouTuber one step closer. I'm super excited to review this. 1, it was sent to me by Gamdias. 2, it's just a really nice case overall. So, this is the Gamdias Talos M1. A great quality, great aesthetic, and most importantly, great priced case. Alright, so this is the ATX version of the Gamdias cases from their Talos lineup. This one is $90. The Talos E1, the mini ITX version, costs $67, and the eATX Talos P1, the all-out awesome RGB everything case, goes for $150. So, the overall aesthetic, the case looks really nice in my opinion. It manages to look nice and sleek while also not screaming gamer. On the top of the front panel, there's a nice illuminated Gamdias logo that can only be set to yellow, which may throw off your color scheme a little, but it's really not that bad. The case features a nice large swinging door glass side panel, which is tinted. You'll see why in a second. Since the side panel is a swinging door design, there are no visible thumb screws anywhere, completing the nice, clean look. The front door can also easily be removed if you don't want it there and you just want to leave your PC open. The front panel is also glass, and it gradually gets narrower as you get closer to the bottom, allowing airflow. But as it gets to the bottom, it also gets closer to the fan, so they about balance out. One has a lot of room for air to get in, while the other is narrower so more air can get in, if that made sense. Well, it's great the front panel allows for great airflow because there are two RGB 120mm fans that suck in lots of air and push it through the PC. The fans can be set to many different lighting effects and even static colors with the push of one button, which is why there's no Gamdias software. The fans can also be set to 3 different noise settings if they're too loud for you out of the box. Just keep in mind, the quieter the fans are, the less rotations per minute they're getting, and therefore the less cooling they're doing. If you want your fans to be cooling at their maximum capacity, you're gonna have to leave them at loudest. And there are 7 fans in my PC. It's kind of loud. There's also nice long RGB strips along the 2 sides of the front, adding to its very nice design. The back panel can easily be removed via 2 thumb screws. These are actually really good thumb screws, which is like nothing to brag about. They were just easy to unscrew. It also has a convenient mount so you can press the side panel against any cables, which you'll definitely need unless you're using the skinniest cables in the world, because there's about ½ an inch of space in the back for your cables, which is not enough for a 24-pin cable if you've ever touched one before. Overall though, I like the case's nice aesthetic as a whole. Also, the bottom features 4 nice raised rubber feet, so your power supply doesn't suck in all the dust from your desk or carpet. The top has a nice bendable magnetic dust filter, making it easy to take it off and clean every once in a while, especially if you have fans up there. The I/O is better than most cases. 2 USB 3 ports, 2 USB 2 ports, microphone and audio jacks, the button to adjust the lighting effects, a button to adjust the fan speed, and finally, the most satisfying power button I've ever felt on a computer case. Just listen to this. Another pretty cool feature is that you can actually swap the I/O port with the yellow Gamdias logo, so you can put the I/O at the top and the logo at the bottom. Unfortunately, I have not figured out how to do this, and I think it requires moving some cables, which makes it pretty difficult. Good thing I wasn't planning on doing this. The case comes included with 7 plus 2 vertical PCI expansion slots that once you take out, you can't put them back in. 2 included 120mm RGB fans in the front, room for up to 140mm rad in the rear, 280 on the top, and 360 on the front. You can pretty much fill this case with fans. The power supply is also dust protected. Size-wise, the case is slightly larger than my NZXT H500i, but somehow really manages to lack space for the cables in the back. Let's head inside. First of all, you'll notice the interior looks kinda interesting, like there's holes everywhere. Many of the random holes are along the PSU shroud, and there's a big one on the right, which is really the only largish space for cable management. Unlike the NZXT H500i, there's no cable cover, but instead, the back divider kinda juts out, letting the cables just go straight through, and even provides you with more cable management space, which sadly I didn't make use of. If I were going to cable manage there, however, there are many zip tie grommets, which make it easy to bundle all the cables together, which is nice. Under the power supply shroud, there's a nice drive bay with drive caddies, but the problem is, there's only 2. This means you can either only use 2 hard drives, 2 SSDs, or just 1 of each. Honestly, I'm gonna guess most people probably only use 2, which won't be a problem, but it's really nice to know you have extra drive bays if necessary. And some techie hardcore video editors, unlike me, will probably need more than 2 drive bays, especially if they want like 2 SSDs, a hard drive, maybe 2 hard drives. You don't have room for that. Unfortunately, Gamdias didn't really hit the mark with cable management. I really wish they had just expanded the backplate by like an inch or less so that my big 24-pin cable would actually fit back there. All the cables in the back are just really jammed too tight for comfort, to the point that sometimes I'm thinking about that while using the PC. Another thing that's not so great about cable management and applies to the front, which makes the PC look messy, is that the slot for the GPU cable is a little too far to the left for long cards such as mine, meaning I have to route the cable back to the left across the graphics card, which really doesn't look great. Again, good thing the side panel is tinted. If Gamdias could just move the hole over slightly to the left, the end result would honestly look a lot better. But they can't because of the drive bays. If Gamdias can move that over a slight bit, the entire PC I think would just look a lot better, but glass panel's tinted, whatever. So I finished my system and it looks pretty good, even better with a tinted glass panel on. I will say, although this isn't really about the case, that coming from my NZXT H500i, I was really used to the RGB light strips and the fact that my PC was a whole lot brighter before, but it looks fine tinted, and it's better at night when you don't really need that much light. Alright, so that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys think about this flagship Gamdias case, and if you would like to check it out, or maybe even purchase it, the link will be in the description down below to check it out. Alright, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, and turn the post notifications on down below after subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.